Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. When Jimmy Butler made the jump to the Golden State Warriors midway through the 2 mil even cuatro, 2 mil even cinco NBA season, a lot of eyebrows were raised. Not because people doubted his talent. Everyone knows what Jimmy Buckets brings to the table. But because the Warriors had just committed over $110 million to a player already deep into his 30s, hoping that he'd be the missing piece to reignite a fading dynasty. And for a moment, it looked like the gamble might just pay off. Before Butler even suited up in the Bay Area, there was buzz, speculation, and a ton of noise. The Warriors, trying to squeeze out one more title run from the core of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and a handful of supporting cast members, weren't exactly lighting the league on fire in the first half of the season. They were hovering around mediocrity, struggling with injuries, inconsistency, and, frankly, an identity crisis. Then came the trade. Butler, a 6-time All-Star, former NBA Finals hero, and one of the league's toughest competitors, arrived from Miami with one goal: win. Golden State didn't just acquire Butler for a quick rental. They doubled down. They gave him the 2-year max extension worth just shy of $111 million. That's commitment. That's belief. And honestly, early on, Butler delivered. He brought a grit and edge that had been missing. The Warriors started to look like themselves again, only with a new, defensive-minded wing who could take pressure off Curry and offer a level of intensity that no one else on the roster matched. In the 30 games he played for Golden State after the trade, Butler averaged just under Dezoito Pontos por jogo. That's not superstar scoring numbers, sure, but that's never been his full game. What mattered was the all-around impact. Almost 6 assists, over 5 rebounds, nearly 2 steals per contest, an efficiency that mattered more than just field goal percentage. He played smart. He played hard. And above all, he played to win. Let's not forget what happened immediately after the trade. The Warriors caught fire. They went on a 20 Tres Vitorias EC Dorota stretch that totally turned around their season. The energy shifted. The body language changed. Even fans who were skeptical at first started to buy in. And yes, there was that brief hiccup. Butler got hurt in Game 2 of the playoff series against Houston, but then came back in Game 4 and dropped Vint EC Pontos like it was nothing. Vintage Jimmy. No excuses. Just production. Still, despite all that, here we are months later, and Butler's name is starting to catch some heat online. Some Warriors fans, perhaps frustrated with the team's lack of movement this offseason, have started questioning the Butler contract. Maybe the injury history. Maybe the age. Maybe just classic fan impatience. But if we're being real, Jimmy earned every penny of that extension. And more than that, the Warriors probably wouldn't even be in the playoff conversation last season without him. Now, while Butler's impact was clear, the Warriors' offseason has been anything but. After all the buzz, after all the expectations, Golden State hasn't done much of anything since the draft. No big signings. No blockbuster trades. Just 2 second-round picks and a whole lot of uncertainty. And the reason? Jonathan Kuminga. Yep, the ongoing saga between the Warriors and Kuminga has basically frozen their offseason. The young forward, whom many believed would be a cornerstone for the franchise's next chapter, reportedly turned down Golden State's offer. Not only that, but there's been plenty of talk that he doesn't even want to return to the team, especially after falling out of Steve Kerr's rotation last season. The situation is complicated. On one hand, you've got Joe Lacob, the team's owner, telling Kuminga he wants him in Golden State for a long time. That's a pretty clear message. But on the other hand, you got a player who feels undervalued, underutilized, and maybe even overlooked in a franchise still clinging to its old guard. And it's not like there's a long line of teams banging down the door to offer Kuminga a deal, at least not one that satisfies the Warriors' high demands in a potential sign-in trade. So we're stuck in limbo. And the longer this drags out, the more it hurts the Warriors' ability to build a contender around Curry, Butler, and Green. Steph is 30 ECs now. Draymond's not getting any younger either. These guys aren't just in win-now mode. They're in win-immediately mode. Every wasted week, Every missed opportunity in free agency, every unresolved roster decision is time lost. And speaking of Curry, while the front office might be standing still, he's not. Steph has been on a whirlwind tour, taking his Curry Camp International for the first time, stopping in Chongqing, China, and being greeted like royalty. MVP chants echoed through the arena as fans celebrated a player who changed the very fabric of basketball. Say what you want about the Warriors' current state. Curry's star hasn't dimmed even a little. It's wild to think that in a summer full of uncertainty, the most energy around the Warriors has come from Curry's overseas appearances, not any front office moves. The light shows, the basketball culture convention, the first ever Curry Con, all of it was massive. But none of it fixes the issues back home. Right now, you've got a team that's still talented, still dangerous, but maybe one or two pieces away from seriously contending. And the question remains, will they get those pieces in time? Or will the indecision with Kuminga, the second-guessing around Butler's contract, and the overall stagnation in the offseason come back to haunt them when the regular season tips off? For now, Jimmy Butler is locked in. He's not going anywhere. He's going to make over $110 million over the next 2 years. And whether fans like it or not, he's going to be a key part of this team's identity. But if the front office doesn't act soon, if they don't resolve the Kuminga dilemma, if they don't add more firepower, the Warriors risk wasting what little time they have left with one of the greatest cores in NBA history. Steph's still producing like a star. Butler showed last season he's still got plenty in the tank, and Draymond, for all his antics, remains one of the smartest defenders in the league. But basketball is a team sport. Depth matters. Chemistry matters. And if the Warriors are serious about chasing another ring, they can't afford to sit on their hands much longer. The West isn't getting any easier. Young stars are emerging. Super teams are forming. And while Golden State still has its legends, legends alone won't carry them through an 80 game grind and a playoff gauntlet. There's still time, but that clock is ticking fast. One of the biggest questions circling the Warriors right now isn't even about Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, or Draymond Green. It's about how this franchise handles the future of Jonathan Kuminga. And that's not just a front office concern anymore. It's becoming a team-wide issue. Because when your offseason is stuck in neutral, your roster is full of unresolved tension, and your key veteran pieces are aging, you can't afford to let a situation like this linger. What's wild is that Kuminga is exactly the type of player most teams dream of developing. Athletic, explosive, still just 22 years old, with flashes of two-way potential that could shift the direction of a franchise. But for some reason, it never quite clicked in Golden State. Whether it was fit, system, or just opportunity, Kuminga never found his rhythm under Steve Kerr. He bounced in and out of the rotation, often riding the bench during key stretches while older, less dynamic players got the minutes. That kind of treatment does something to a young player's mindset. It chips away at confidence. And when contract talks roll around, it becomes personal. So now you've got a standoff. Kuminga reportedly wants out. He's rejected offers. He's made it clear that a return isn't guaranteed. Meanwhile, the Warriors are still publicly saying they want him back long-term. But that's the thing. If they really saw him as a core part of the future, wouldn't this deal already be done? Wouldn't they have prioritized locking him in before the offseason began? Instead, Golden State seems stuck between holding on to hope and trying to extract value through a sign-in trade. But here's the catch. No one's biting. At least not at the level the Warriors want. Other teams are interested in Kuminga. Of course they are, but not for the price tag Golden State has attached. And without a workable trade, and without a renewed contract, Kuminga becomes this unresolved variable that's holding up the rest of the roster-building process. Free agents are passing the Warriors by. Veterans are signing elsewhere. And the longer this drags on, the more it feels like a situation that should have been handled months ago. Now let's be clear, this isn't just about Kuminga. This is about what his unresolved situation represents. It's about a franchise that once set the standard for smart, forward-thinking team building, now looking like it's stuck in the past. The Warriors used to be proactive. They used to make bold moves, develop talent, and stay 2 steps ahead of the league. But lately, it feels like they're playing catch-up. And all the while, Steph Curry is still performing like one of the best players on the planet. Last season, he put up over 24 puntos por jogo, still running circles around defenders, still launching threes from another zip code, still dragging defenses with him every possession. And yet, the help just hasn't been there consistently. Klay Thompson's exit already sent shockwaves through the fan base. And though Butler brings a different kind of punch, he's not the floor spacer Klay was. He's a slasher, a mid-range operator, a playmaker. That's great, but that alone doesn't fix the spacing issues or solve the bench depth problems. And then there's Draymond, still a defensive genius, still a vocal leader. But the physical wear and tear is real. He can't anchor a defense by himself the way he once did. He needs support. Younger legs, switchable wings, rim protection. Right now, the Warriors don't have enough of that. Their interior defense was exposed multiple times last season. They got beat on the boards, killed on second chance points, and had to rely on Curry and Butler to bail them out in too many close games. So what's the plan? Wait out the Kuminga saga. Hope that one of the rookies from the second round suddenly turns into a rotational gem. Pray that Al Horford suddenly signs for the veteran minimum and gives you 15 solid minutes a night. That's not a real strategy. That's rolling the dice. And for a team that keeps talking about contending, that kind of approach feels reckless. The truth is, Golden State needs to make a move. They need to pick a direction and commit. Either go all in on one more championship run with the current core, or start reshaping the roster with younger, long-term pieces. But this in-between space, we are neither rebuilding nor truly competing. That's where franchises go to die. And right now, it feels like the Warriors are dangerously close to that middle ground. Meanwhile, the rest of the West is stacking up. Teams like Oklahoma City and Minnesota have youth, depth, and cohesion. Denver still has the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. Dallas just made a finals run. Even the Lakers, for all their inconsistencies, are never completely out of the picture when healthy. And now you've got Golden State, sitting on their hands in August, with a roster that's barely changed and internal issues that haven't been resolved. There's still time. That's the one saving grace. The season hasn't started yet. Trades can still happen. Free agents are still out there. But time is running out. And every day, without movement, increases the pressure not just on the front office, but on the players too. Think about what kind of locker room this becomes if Kuminga stays. Do you really expect a motivated, locked-in version of him after months of uncertainty and failed negotiations? Do you think that helps team chemistry? Or imagine if they trade him 2 weeks before opening night. How do you integrate new pieces into the rotation on the fly? This isn't just about contracts. It's about cohesion, about momentum, about making sure the locker room is aligned before the grind of another NBA season kicks in. The ball's in the front office's court. Jimmy Butler did his part. Curry is still doing his. What happens next will define not just this season, but the legacy of the Warriors' second era. Time to decide. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In an unexpected twist that has sent shockwaves throughout the basketball world, Josh Giddy, the promising Australian phenom, has reportedly finalized a deal with the Golden State Warriors, a move that is already stirring intense speculation and excitement among fans and analysts alike. According to insiders, Giddy's arrival in San Francisco could create one of the most dynamic duos the NBA has ever witnessed, pairing his youthful versatility with Stephen Curry's unparalleled scoring and playmaking abilities. The whispers circulating around the league suggest that the Warriors are envisioning a system in which Giddy's court vision and passing prowess complement Curry's lethal shooting range, potentially redefining offensive strategies and putting opposing defenses on constant alert. Analysts are already debating how this pairing could alter the balance of power in the Western Conference, as teams that once relied on neutralizing Curry may now face the daunting challenge of containing a tandem that blends experience with raw, developing talent. Fans are flooding social media with reactions ranging from awe to incredulity, many speculating that this move could mark the beginning of a new dynasty, reminiscent of the Warriors' championship runs, but with a fresh, electrifying twist. The atmosphere around Chase Center is reportedly buzzing, with season ticket holders anticipating the spectacle of watching Giddy and Curry orchestrate fast breaks and intricate offensive sets in tandem, a combination that could prove historically impactful in the league. The strategic implications of Giddy joining Golden State are already igniting conversations among coaches, former players, and basketball commentators who are analyzing how the duo could change the dynamics of both the Warriors' gameplay and the broader NBA landscape. Giddy's unique skill set, characterized by his ability to drive, dish, and shoot from range, aligns seamlessly with Curry's penchant for stretching defenses and creating high-percentage scoring opportunities from seemingly impossible angles. Rumors suggest that head coach Steve Kerr has been devising intricate rotations and offensive schemes that leverage Giddy's adaptability, potentially giving the Warriors an unprecedented level of unpredictability. Speculation is rife regarding how Giddy will handle the pressure of joining a franchise with a legacy of excellence. Yet insiders hint that his maturity and basketball IQ make him a natural fit, capable of learning from one of the greatest shooters in history, while simultaneously pushing Curry to explore new dimensions of his own game. Observers are already drawing parallels to past historic pairings in the NBA, questioning whether this union could reach or even surpass the heights achieved by legendary duos in terms of influence, efficiency, and championship contention. The rumor mill is relentless, with every practice report, off-court sighting, and media appearance fueling the narrative that Golden State may be on the cusp of redefining what it means to dominate in modern basketball through a combination of established star power and emerging talent. Fans and media outlets are buzzing with theories about how Giddy's presence could reinvigorate the Warriors' offense, introducing a fluidity and creativity that might make the team nearly impossible to defend. Enthusiasts argue that Giddy's ability to read the game and make split-second decisions could free Curry to focus more on exploiting mismatches, moving off the ball, and finding open looks, effectively multiplying the team's scoring potential. Social media threads are overflowing with mock lineups, highlight reels, and animated projections, all speculating on the endless combinations of plays the duo could execute. Sports journalists are hinting that this rumored partnership may also impact the Warriors' recruitment strategy, with suggestions that the franchise might seek complementary pieces who can adapt to a style of play defined by rapid ball movement, constant spacing, and unorthodox offensive creativity. Rumors extend beyond the hardwood, suggesting that the media hype alone could elevate the Warriors' profile globally, attracting new audiences fascinated by the idea of witnessing one of the most promising young talents in the league learning and performing alongside a generational superstar. Insider chatter suggests that even veteran players in other teams are beginning to reevaluate their strategies, considering how to counteract the unique synergy that Giddy and Curry could bring. The narrative unfolding is electric, painting a picture of a team potentially on the verge of historic offensive evolution, where every pass, cut, and shot could become a talking point for months, igniting both admiration and concern across the NBA landscape. Rumors surrounding the contract details, potential bonuses, and specific terms of Giddy's engagement with the Warriors are being carefully dissected by pundits, who argue that the financial and contractual dimensions of this deal may reflect the organization's commitment to building around this new superstar pairing. Some insiders hint at performance incentives tied to playoff success, all-star appearances, or statistical milestones, fueling speculation that the Warriors are planning a long-term partnership designed to maximize both on-court results and commercial impact. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.